Assalamualaikum guys. Welcome back. Let's get into it.
You don't watch Glastonbury for nuance on a nightmarishly complex international situation. And I think what you saw from the audience, I mean, these people, these rock stars, they're not kind of political leaders. I think what you saw from an audience is there is real anger about what's going on in Gaza. I get it every day from people who don't follow politics, to my annoyance, but they are really taken aback by what's happening in Gaza. And you got that. And, West Streeting, of course, was very careful to say October the 7th was a horror that needs to also be addressed. Everyone has to balance with these things. I don't think what you saw at Glastonbury was thousands and thousands of people relishing in anti-Semitism. I think you just saw a kind of bunch of people expressing horror with Gaza. And I get it all the time wherever I go with friends. They say, well, why doesn't Starman say more about it? And that's what it was.
Well, let's leave that one, because we've no doubt provoked a flood of social media posts that characterises all of us as crazy Zionists or crazy extremists or whatever.
I find it a little bit bizarre that we're talking about the Israeli military like it's a persecuted minority group. It's a powerful army committing genocide, and it's not the role of the government, it's not the role of the Israeli government, certainly, to decide the political expression of artists on the BBC.
Yes, but we have laws here that do not allow you to incite violence against a person or persons, and chanting death to someone is obviously crossing the line, is it not?
Not when it's a foreign military currently committing genocide. I mean, in what way could you practically incite violence against the IDF? Is somebody from the field in Glastonbury going to jump in a fighter jet and go and engage Israeli soldiers?
You know as well as I do, Mr. Hanson, laws aren't adjudicated on the likelihood, they're adjudicated on what people actually say or do. And I read you again, the employment of language designed to encourage violence is deemed unlawful. Chanting death to anybody, obviously, crosses that line, no?
I think if somebody had said death to ISIS or death to Putin's army, this argument wouldn't be being made.
Why are you quoting that? Why won't you examine this particular? Why would you support such vile? I mean, it seems for once the political spectrum is pretty united on this, but you think they're all wrong then?
Many celebrities have reacted to Bob Vyland's Glastonbury performance. First up, Roger Waters said, "Bet the BBC are not happy." Next, Bella Hadid commented with a black heart emoji. Next, Kneecap said, "Get it." Next, Dua Lipa said, "Sick." And finally, Zayn, shaking that table. Bob Vyland's Glastonbury set has completely taken over social media, and not just because of the music. People can't stop talking. During their Saturday performance on the West Holt stage, the punk duo known as the Bobs went viral for what they said between songs. Midway through their set, Bobby Vyland led a chant that quickly turned heads, and not in a fun way. Within minutes, Glastonbury's official page posted a statement saying the performance had crossed a line and confirmed they were appalled by what was said on stage. The backlash came fast. Even before the festival ended, fans and officials were already calling out the duo's comments, with the BBC stepping in to clarify what viewers saw. The broadcast had included a warning, but now the performance has been pulled completely from iPlayer. A BBC spokesperson said they felt parts of the set were deeply wrong and that no full replay would be made available. It didn't stop there. People from multiple sides of the conversation are now putting pressure on the BBC for choosing to air the show at all. Glastonbury's organizers responded quickly, saying that with thousands of performances every year, they don't always agree with what's said on stage. But this time, they made it clear they believed the comments went too far. In a joint statement with Emily Evis, the festival said, "There is no place at Glastonbury for that type of speech." Since then, multiple public figures have weighed in. One of the loudest voices came from West Streeting, who told the BBC the moment was revolting. He added that music should never be used as a platform to encourage those things. Avon and Somerset officials later confirmed that they're reviewing footage from the set to determine if any lines were crossed in a more serious way. As of now, no official action has been announced. But after this performance, one thing's clear. Glastonbury 2025 is already being remembered for more than just the music.
Yeah, I just want to add a little comment there that a lot of people afraid to speak up. When this person who said deaf to IDF, they cancelled his tour in America, and they will attack you. The elitist, you could say, or the higher class. The 1% or something. They they will cut you off financially. So most people are afraid to speak up, but they will believe this. But common folks, like, they got nothing to lose. They'll say it regardless, you know. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this.
This Muslim social media influencer visited a Jewish neighborhood in Europe. Watch what happens next.
Is it safe for me as a Muslim one in a Jewish street?
No, of course not. Safe? No. Basically, we don't have nothing with Zionism. There's Judaism, there's Zionism. We think that's not allowed to have for us our own country. We want to live friendly with everybody. It's not our. I have nothing I would never in Israel, and I don't want to be there like for Zionism.
So you are against the Zionists?
Yes.
Oh man.
I will not fight. I will not do nothing. We don't go in the army. We're against them.
Oh.
Everybody have the right to serve their own lands. You have that all years. It's not our right to.
Really? So you are against what is going on in Gaza? Okay, well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
We are not but Israel government. We are against them.
You against them?
Yes.
And you will say, what? You want us to make you look good? That's not my job. Your job is to make us look good. Our job is not to make you look good, American Jews. What do you have to worry about? Your job is to make us look good. And here's how you do it. Every one of us has to serve 3 years in the army, 2 years in the army, some of us 5 years, and then for the rest of our lives, you have got to serve 2 or 3 years in the army of words. You've got to learn to fight the political battle, which is even more important at this point than the military battle that we are. We'll fight the military battle. We're not asking you necessarily to come and be lone soldiers, although some of you can. You've got to learn how to fight back on the campuses, how to make the arguments. Now, they keep shifting. You know, the ground keeps shifting under us. They keep changing the language. Intersectionality wasn't even a word 10 years ago. Now suddenly it's intersectionality. You've got to stay on top of it. And you know how we train for the army? We don't train for defensive warfare. If the war against Israel ever had to be fought on Israeli soil, do I have to tell you? It's an impossibility. So it's the same thing. Don't let the war of words ever be fought about Israel's nature. Let it be fought about why you can't accept Israel. Push them, teach them how to defend by attacking. Teach them really what one says as in fencing. You've got to do that. You've got to make.
In a nutshell, she said, we're committing genocide. You just have to do a job and make us look good while we're doing the genocide. You know, what can you do with these people? Like, they built in the system. You know, so the young age, you know, when a person get that anger, you know, how can I say, man?
Make demands on them. They've got to serve for 3 years in the army.
Every time you translate a Hebrew tweet, you find out one of the craziest messages you've ever seen. In the past, when it was more relevant, I've documented plenty of cases where members of the Knesset made some very dehumanizing statements, and there are many I can still point to. Here's one, Moishi Feiglin saying, "Every baby in Gaza is an enemy." He said this on Channel 14 News 2 days ago. Here's Ma'ariv Online, which is the Jerusalem Post's sister publication. You're right. They're the enemies of the future, by the way. And we don't do anything to them. It is actually Hamas that does stuff to them. Additionally, after recent events, this person said, "It seems to me that young Americans need another September 11th. Then there's Israel's Law and Justice Committee member Simcha Rotman, another member of the Israeli Knesset, saying that the intention of the war should be to vacate these people from the land, that any people who are remaining there are only doing so to support the war, that these people are still the enemy if they are supporting the war. Well, if you want them to vacate the land, why don't they come over the border into Israel? Because they are our enemies. The children are your enemies? Yes, they are our enemies according to international treaties about refugees and war.
While the world debates the Israel-Iran war, a massacre is unfolding in silence, not in headlines, not on front lines, but in food lines. On May 27, 2025, aid returned to Gaza, a fragile lifeline for a starving population. But that lifeline turned into a death trap. In Rafah's Tel Al Sultan neighborhood, Israeli forces opened fire on civilians rushing toward aid trucks. Dozens were killed on the first day, and it didn't stop there. Rafah, Khan Yunis, central Gaza. Every time the aid trucks arrived, people gathered, starving, desperate, unarmed. And every time they were shot at.
By June 16th, over 330 Palestinians had been killed, nearly 3,000 more wounded. Then came June 17th, Khan Yunis, the deadliest single day yet. 59 people killed, 221 injured, just for standing in line, waiting for food. No weapons, no fighting, only hunger. Now on June 20th, 409 civilians dead, over 3,200 injured, all in less than 3 weeks, all while trying to survive. Israel claims it's targeting fighters hidden in crowds, but the victims were mothers, fathers, children. Gaza's aid lines have become execution zones, and the world was watching in silence. Don't let silence be the final word. Share this. Speak up. Demand accountability, because no one should die with bread in their hands.
Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video there. If you're new to the channel, please like, share and subscribe. So,